You can't see on the other side? So no free kicks on the other side? That's good for me. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, no, stay away from me.
Can you see it on the screen? I don't really care about the signage, I care about the players.
Yeah, no.
Yeah? You can see that?
Do one.
Slide get in there.
Keep going. If I cut the bike, I might go forward.
are 10 minutes away from kickoff. 10 minutes away from kickoff. Once again, let me give a big shout out to all this wonderful group of sponsors that we've got on board. The IMB Group, Interspan, Continental Steel, Ponto Concrete, IBM Crane, Support Deck Australia, Ignis, United Forklifts, Instant Access, Omniform, ENS Fuel Fixing, and Talent Brew. These people, along with all the other wonderful sponsors we have the club, sponsoring other areas, thank you very much for your contributions. Let's have a look at the starting lineups once again, boys and girls, for this exciting clash tonight. Hopefully the fog disappears very quickly so we can see what's going on the park. Let's have a look at the visitors, Avondale FC. Number 1, we have Jack Dixon. Number 3, Jacob Newark. Number 4, Patrick Blocker. Number 7, Adam Cimarino. Number 9, George Cox. Number 10, it's Nathan Bruno and Wayne. Number best of luck, play the best team to win tonight, as long as it's Dandenong City. Ladies and gentlemen, be careful that we observe all the rules. No spectators on the field to enter the field to play at any time, please. No spectators to enter the field to play. Certainly no smoking under the grandstand, please. Observe the signage, no smoking. And we wish you all a wonderful evening and a great night of football. We'll be back here in 8 minutes for the kick-off, and the players will be escorted out by our under 8 sons and irons and Marley Button. Make sure we give them a big round of applause as they come down the players' race.
Help us level the playing field. Sign the parliamentary petition today to fuel the growth and fund the game.
No. I don't think our VO's going to work on the other side. Shocking. We get done, I told you, the flares. Just tell everyone their flares, I've lit more flares.
The special setting that is Friday night football in the Ranges as match week 18 in the Senol NPL Victoria begins, and we work our way through these winter weekends. Dandenong City are at home again, having lost only once in the past 5 league matches. That loss coming last week when Hajduk were dazzled by the Marzi Magic at the City Vista. Languishing in 10th position and needing to replicate last season's second half surge, complicated all the time by the shackles of the points deduction. And away side Avondale tonight, a win of epic and historic proportions last week when sending 11 goals past the hapless Dandenong Thunder. Don't sleep on the Avengers' defensive integrity though, they've kept clean sheets in each of their past 4 league games. Dandenong City and Avondale on this frosty and very foggy Friday night at Frank Holohan. One side searching, one side surging. Match week 18 of the Senol NPL Victoria season. Brent Sternberg and Steve Curtin here with you. We'll welcome Steve in just a moment. Dandy City have made one change from the side that lost to George Cross last week. Mid-season signing Wade Decker comes straight in to the starting 11. He replaces Jamie Latham, who was out of the squad entirely. So Matthew Maram starts again in goal. The back four of Vali Chesnik, Gaku Inaba, Captain Jack Webster and left back Jackson Lino. The 4 players in midfield, Timothy Aparinos, Harry Ascroft, Danny Kim and Will Bauer. Wade Decker will start up front tonight for Hajduk alongside Xander Guy. Jackson Courtney Perkins, the other signing from Dandenong Thunder, is on the bench. He replaces Pierce Waring in the squad. And the other change for Dandy City is their reserve goalkeeper. Blake Worth is in. He replaces Kobe Magditch. Avondale had the biggest margin of victory in a game for more than 30 years last week, so no need to change the starting 11. Jack Gibson is in goal. The back four of Emlyn Wellsmore, Jacob Muir, Patrick Flotman and Blake Carpenter. The 4-man midfield of Ayok Mo, Yite Towns, Kristen Trecheski and Adam Zimmerino, and the strike partnership of George Ott and Bruno Fornaroli. The only change in the squad for the Avengers today is on the bench where Stefan Valentini is out and replaced by Murphy Bennett. Our referee in the middle tonight, you may lose sight of him and the players as they head towards the opposite side of the pitch. It's Lucas Matea. Our assistants John White and Geordie Walton, and our 4th official is Max Hanlon. It's a little bit of a mix and match with the kit match-up this evening. Dandy City are in the white shirts with the blue shorts and socks, and Avondale the complete opposite. As we are set to go on this blockbuster Friday night football in the Senol NPL Victoria. This one of 4 matches this evening as I welcome in Steve Curtin for the first time tonight. So 8 matches to come. Steve, Dandy City are 7 points adrift of the finals placings and also only 2 points away from the drop zone. They've really got to get rolling, Hajduk.
Yeah, that's right. Where there's life, there's hope, Brent. And so we welcome you to the broadcast. We hope you're enjoying this one on the NPL Victoria YouTube live stream tonight. Round 18 of the competition. The season has flown by. Dandenong City, they had a good patch of form as well. They had that draw against the Oakley Cannons and then 3 wins on the bounce, including that 4-1 win over Heidelberg United in their last home match before being crashed back to earth on their trip way out west last week to Fraser Rise, with Caroline Springs banging in the goals early to race away to that 3-goal lead. It was a fiery finish in that one. Will we see any fireworks tonight? It's a foggy Frank Holohan evening here. It's only 8 degrees. It feels like it's 7. I'm not sure why Xander Guy hasn't got his gloves on like he wore last week. He could certainly use them. He might be looking to get them from the bench. He looks to get in possession here and just trying to combine and get his side up the park through Will Bauer, who's got Wellsmore to beat. Wellsmore, one of the players on the score sheet last week. And, well, you'd feel pretty hard done by if you're an Avondale player that didn't score a goal last week, given that they snagged a record 11 goals. So not a close game by any stretch at Avenger Park last week for Avondale. Tonight will be a lot closer. It's a matter of how much. And Dandy City, they do match up well against Avondale, Brent. And, of course, that memory of that elimination, that preliminary final / semi-final that gave Dandenong City that famous grand final berth last year with that goal from Jack Webster, still living in the memory from last September. And certainly Nick Tolios feels that his side is a good match against this Avondale squad, Brent.
Yeah, That was only their second victory over Avondale, Dandenong City, in what has been 16 previous meetings. It's the 17th league meeting this evening. This is Christian Trajewski, whose pass deflects in towards midfield. Of course, it was Jack Webster scoring the goal in that famous game to send Dandenong City into their first grand final. Of course, it's the second meeting this season between these two teams. Avondale won 4-1 when they met earlier this season. Ascroft and Inaba working together in the back four for Dandenong City. Towns' errant header goes out of play. Match day 4 at Avenger Park. Jamie Latham, who's not in the match day squad this evening, he scored a penalty to put Hajduk in front in the 63rd minute, and then Avondale scored 4 goals in the last 27 minutes of the match. They are the number 1 team in the top flight this season for goals scored. Will Bauer swings it in towards Atherinos, who gives Hajduk the dream start in the foggy Frank Holohan mist. Atherinos, his goal-scoring exploits have dried up a little this season. Played in behind from Will Bauer, and what a start for Dandenong City.
Oh, what vision from Will Bauer there. The Avondale defence caught square, still reminiscing of that 11-goal feat last week. Getting in behind again. A man that needs no invitation. That man, Tim Atherinos, who's been a star player this season. More goals and more assists than anyone else in the Hajduk team this year. And he makes that number 6 for the season. Loves those sort of opportunities early on in games, in behind, tight angle, and then slotting it past Gibson, who concedes his first goal in a month in the league as well, Brent.
First goal that they've led in for a long, long time. He did score a hat-trick a couple of weeks ago against Heidelberg United at Atherinos, but it's taken him, I know I mentioned that his goals has dried up a little bit, it's taken him a long time to get back amongst the goals. Remember last season he seemed to score every second game off the bench. He's in the Nick Tolios's starting 11 now. And what a start for Dandenong City. Avondale make the... it's a pretty long trek, isn't it, from one side of the city to the other?
Absolutely. You factor in that it is the end of school term finishing up this afternoon as well. So the roads, they were flat out getting across here from the inner city out here into the deep trenches of the southwest southeast out here. And we've been greeted by a foggy night. And if you are wondering at home, it is Avondale in the blue tops, white socks and shorts, and the home side Hajduk in the white tops with the blue shorts and blue socks. So it's a blue on blue versus a white on blue out there. And luckily Lucas Mattia and the other match officials out there are in the high vis, Brent, so we can keep a good look at where their positioning is. But the AR over on the far side is going to be hard to spot. Here's Ayuk Mo getting involved, forming a good understanding with Emlyn Wellsmore down the right-hand side. So Avondale, as you said, they haven't conceded a goal up until that Tim Atherinos strike in 4 consecutive league matches. North Sunshine Eagles from the second tier did somehow manage to put 3 past them on a Tuesday night at Larissa Reserve to knock them out of the cup, but certainly in a league front they haven't been breached until now. So they're not in a familiar situation, at least in recent times, unless they can get a quick reply here. Maram's out of his goal. Georgiot getting in behind and firing over the crossbar. Well, Maram, a heart-in-mouth moment for him, but he gets away with that one as the New Zealander couldn't keep his strike down.
Just one more on the kits. This actually is the Dandenong City home kit lineup, for want of a better term, with the white shirts and the blue shorts and socks. It's meant that Avondale have had to change up their kit a little bit. They generally wear all white away from home, but they're wearing their home shirts tonight, but the away shorts and socks. So it's all a little bit topsy-turvy.
It's not often you see this sort of thing either. When you do, it really takes you back a little bit. Georgiot being held by Gaku Inaba. Lucas Mattia quick to sound the whistle. And good news here, if you were wondering at home, Zandagai has got the gloves from the bench.
Hey.
So he's asked the coaching staff, hey, my fingers are dropping off. I'm a Queenslander after all. I'm not built to play in this 7 or 8 degree temperatures here in Melbourne South East in late June.
Well, winter has certainly arrived, hasn't it, Steve? That much is clear.
It has. It's been lovely. So if you don't mind a crisp day, though, lovely sunny days at the moment. Last couple of days, not a breath of wind. Getting back here is Atherinos. Good first touch by Carpenter, one of the players who got on the score sheet last week, but also managed a couple of assists too, so a good contribution from him. He's having arguably his best season in NPL Victoria, really full fitness and firing. This is a big switch of play aimed for Trycheski. And it was Bruno Fornaroli as well, dropping out of that number 9 position to do a bit of playmaking. Shades of Harry Kane for England there, dropping deep from the 9 and trying to get something going. Not quite dropping as deep as Harry Kane did in that match against Croatia.
So Dandy City with the early lead. It's the fastest goal they've scored this season. They've only scored 8 goals now in first halves. They've scored most of their goals in the second halves in 2026.
You mentioned their last match-up as well when these sides met back in March. It was all the goals came late after the hour mark. 5 goals in the match after the hour mark. Almost as if Jamie Latham angered the Avondale side by scoring a penalty for Avondale to turn around and put 4 past them in quick time. Here's George Ott trying to run into the channels here, chased by Valley Chesnick. He's going to get into there, cutting it back for Bruno Fornaroli, the Golden Boot elect in NPL Victoria. Good close control, and he sets up Yitte Towns. The shot was always rising as the Tasmanian got underneath it a little too much.
Well, outside of the goal, they've probably looked at the more potent team going forward. A chance there for Towns, and the opportunity a couple of minutes ago from George Ott as well. They have had their issues away from home this season, Avondale. Away from Avenger Park in their previous 8 away games this season. 4 wins, but 4 losses as well. 4 of their 5 losses this year in the league have come away from home, and we remember the match against North Sunshine that they lost in the Cup as well, which was also away. So they're back to goalkeeper Marum. Blasts it into the clouds, the low-hanging clouds here at Frank Holohan this evening. Good defensive work there from Wellsmore. Danny Kiernan for Galku Inaba. Dandy City try and settle into a little bit of possession there. Atherinos draws the foul. Franceschi just left a little nibble in there. Have we got goals at other grounds, Steve? Did I just hear that famous little jingle?
The only goal scored tonight so far is the one here that separates these two sides. So
Hearing things, am I?
Dandenong City getting the best possible start they can. Leapfrog St Albans tonight with a win and go from 10th to 9th. And then try and continue to close the gap over the coming weeks. This one is swung in by Atherinos. The header was by Ott. Won that time by Danny Kim. Trycheski in a hurry to take this one. Another player that got 2 assists in that match last week and a goal to himself as well. He's having a good season, is the Avondale midfielder. Good scrap there between Lino, and Ott eventually wins the possession of the ball. Finds Fornaroli, but had it taken from him, and Ashcroft can come away through Bauer. Good press from Zimmerino, but Chesnick was able to play through it. A touch for the new signing, Wade Decker. Sri Lankan international was on the score sheet in a friendly against Bhutan earlier this month, and Marum's had a bit of a comical moment here. He's sliding out of his goal, and all or nothing moment. He had to get the ball there, and he's managed to do just that. Well, we could have seen the second week in a row that Avondale are playing against 10 players with a goalkeeper send-off, but there's a concern here for, it looks like, Blake Carpenter, who stayed down from the challenge. Marum got ball, but the man was also collected. In fact, it's not Carpenter. Is it Zimmerino? It is Adam Zimmerino who stayed down.
He's had a couple of nervous moments already, Marum in goal, hasn't he? Of course, that was the big thing about that Avondale Thunder game last week. They had basically 2/3 of the game with the 1-player advantage when Wiseman, who was on debut, actually. For the Thunder,
coming up from Yarraville in State League 1, so a big step up.
The baptism of fire, really.
And coming in against Avondale at Avenger Park as well, literally a baptism of fire, and that's what it turned out to be.
3-0 at half-time in that match. And then 8 goals in the second half. The first team this century to score double-digit goals in a game in the top division here in men's Victorian football. The most goals, you would have seen it reported during the week, the most goals since Altona put 11 past North Geelong on the final match day of the 1997 season. Carpenter retreating here.
So you've really got to go back a long time, and this is well and truly before the NPL era of football as well. It's only been going for around 12 years. Franceschi popping up in these wide areas on this broadcast side tonight, which makes it a lot easier to be able to spot him from our point of view. Hope you're enjoying this one. A foggy night at Frank Holohan here in Endeavour Hills, as Avondale try and wrestle back this one goal deficit that they currently are encountering. A bit of a scrap there as the ball went through to Marum between Gaku Inaba and Bruno Fornaroli. Lucas Mattia was keeping a close eye on things. It's played long by Marum. The header was won well by Flotman. It's picked up over there on the far side by Will Bauer, who tears through the fog but eventually loses possession. A touch for Gibson. He hasn't had too much to do except for picking the ball out of his own net so far, and Trajewski, good use of space, and he releases Wellsmore, and Avondale can motor down this right-hand side through Ayuk Mo. First time ball was by Ott. He tried to pick out the right back Wellsmore, who'd continued his run forward. It was a good one too. So Avondale starting to find their way into this game. Inside 15 minutes here. Pegged back early. So what are you thinking now, Brent? A test of patience for this Avondale side, as no doubt this Dandy City outfit will try and get more men behind the ball with this one-goal lead. Oh, Trajewski's been brought down.
Oh dear.
Big trouble. Big trouble here, but it's just a yellow card for Inaba. Not adjudged to be a last man challenge or a clear goal scoring opportunity, but only just, Brent.
Can you believe that's Inaba's first yellow card of the season? He's started every game for Dandy City this season.
Some record for a central defender as well.
He's a pretty clean and typical Japanese player. Clean and disciplined central defender. But that one, I just think he didn't want to let the Avondale player go any further and wore one for the team there. It sets up Avondale in a very dangerous position here. You imagine this has got Fornaroli's name written all over it, Steve.
He likes these sorts of areas. Carpenter is interested as well, but it'll suit the right footer here. Fornaroli, who scored all 4 of his goals with his right foot last weekend. And there's 4 in the wall here for Matt Merriman. Dandy City, it's Fornaroli! Well, can't have been too far away, judging by the Uruguayan come Socceroos reaction. Christian Trajewski appealing for something that might have even come off a Dandy City player, but goal kicks the decision from Lucas Mattia.
Do you want Fornaroli's numbers from last week? 8 shots, 5 on target, and 4 goals. Not bad.
Yeah, the quality of his finishing was quite good. The one that he volleyed home that was given goal of the week as well, has had a very nice aesthetic to it, the way he took that one down to hit it on the dipping sort of volley. And here's Atherinos, who's looking to cause some more problems. And the guy had his shot blocked, and Ashcroft! Oh! For a second, that looked like that was going to burst the net there. And Ashcroft, coming back from that defensive midfield position, absolutely leathered that one. But there's a concern here for Jack Webster, who's gone down in back play, which is not typically something you want to see. A 35-year-old, he turns 36 next month. So Dandy City, they've made plenty of signings for players further up the park, or at least a couple, with Wade Decker coming into the squad, and also Jackson Courtney Perkins as well, who starts from the bench tonight. Probably a little skinny in options for central defence, though. George Lambatarides is one player who's more capable in midfield, but has deputised in there when required.
You're right though, Steve. It takes something pretty serious to keep Jack Webster on the pitch like this.
And the concern is for his right knee here, and I just feel a little bit alarmed that it did happen in back play when there was no cut and thrust movements or anything going as far as we could see.
Into 7th all-time now for appearances in the top division of men's football in Victoria. He's been a warrior. Back up on his feet. Certainly not looking entirely comfortable. And you're right, if he did have to make way here, they don't have a recognised defender on the bench, so you'd think that Ashcroft would probably slot back into the back four. Ashcroft, who just had that absolute rifle at goal. Gee, he struck that well.
He couldn't have hit that any better,
No.
I don't think.
Just wonder if we maybe have anyone with a camera behind the goal that maybe got a shot of that and how close it was, because it didn't look that far away.
It's an interesting venue here. It's my first time checking out Frank Holohan, but the crowd sitting behind that goal would have had a great view of it as it comes into the box. It's away by Ashcroft. That man again at the centre of the action. So Webster's back up on his feet playing on. So that is encouraging after getting some treatment on the field. Avondale trying to create something down the right-hand side. Trycheski. Towns, it almost broke for Ott. Trycheski back in to steal it off Danny Kim. Carpenter, the left back tucking inside. Fornaroli. Trycheski on the turn. This is good football from Avondale. Maram on the second bite of the cherry manages to clutch it to his chest with Fornaroli lurking in the 6-yard box. Dangerous moments again for Dandy City, sitting on this 1-goal lead, courteous of a 4th-minute strike by Timothy Atharinos.
It does look like a lead at the moment that is perilous, though. Avondale giving themselves plenty of looks. Webster, as you can see, is back out there now, back up on his feet. Sorry, Steve.
It is a relief to see that. Hopefully he's going to be all good to continue. He seems to be moving as normal.
As we mentioned, one of 4 games for your viewing pleasure this evening. We're really rattling through the weeks, aren't we? It won't be too long before we're in the back stretch. Well, we're probably in that now, aren't we?
Especially with the transfer window opening during the week. A number of signings, high-profile signings coming in from the Australian A-League, players coming in from the OFC Pro League, other competitions, more to be announced over the next week or so too.
This is Carpenter on the far side, disappearing in the... If you're watching on the stream and you're just tuned in, you might think that it looks like it's raining. It's not rain, it's just very low cloud out here in Endeavour Hills. Mo plays in Wellsmore. Wellsmore's first time cross. It's just going to go beyond Fornaroli. Here is one of those mid-season transfer signings for Dandenong City. Wade Decker, who of course has crossed the battle lines in the Rangers, Steve.
He has crossed from one side of Dandenong to the other, and he hasn't really inserted himself on this game yet as much as he'd like to, but there's plenty of time to go. But Carpenter with the bleach blonde hair is driving forward again. He tries to get a shot. It's blocked off the boot, and here's Atharinos over on the far side in front of one of the more youthful groups of footballing ultras you're likely to see. Both of these clubs known for having some of the more youthful ultra supporters groups going around. Avondale kids that make some noise, will whether they've made the trip out here tonight or if they're watching on, cheering on the boys in the blue shirts tonight. Carpenter puts the ball into the box, headed by Webster. Webster with the clearance again. It breaks for Zimmerino. His angles to shoot were closed down, so he just goes back to Carpenter, who hangs in the cross to the back post. Lino is able to clear up the line, finds Bauer. So it's a good even contest so far. Both of these sides giving as good as they're getting. I think a lot of pundits expecting a heavy Avondale win tonight. And for reasonably good reason, I suppose, but Dandy City's form, apart from the blip last week in the last month, still very good. Towns, Muir, Nice little bit of style by the West Aussie as he plays it forward out in front of Wellsmore. Playing a more attacking role, the right back tonight, than we've seen him in other weeks. Might leave some space in behind though. Bowers forced to go back. Pressure on Inaba from Mo. He's closed down Trycheski there as well. This is nervy moments again. Fully committed was Kim and Ott. Ott still scrapping for the ball on the deck. Fornaroli made it his. Pressure from Decker. Carpenter striding forward. He tries the shot and George Ott is there and it almost went top right. Well, it bobbled through the penalty area and the New Zealander stuck out the right boot. Very nearly directed it into the net past Matt Marum to level things up, but not to be for Avondale.
Inches away from the equaliser.
Well, if we were over in the USA, Canada and Mexico would be taking a hydration break about now. But we need to get the hot Milo out, I think, Brent, if we were having some drinks on the sidelines tonight when it's just sitting on 7 or 8 degrees here at Endeavour Hills.
Maybe come to the sideline to get a nice cup of chicken noodle soup or something.
just to warm the hands even, perhaps.
Dandenong City 1, Avondale 0. Two teams have shared moments in possession. You can't say either side has really dominated this game in terms of possession. It's well intercepted here by Chesnick, who skips around Trycheski into the 18-yard box, a pass that was designed for Decker but read by Muir. Fornaroli. Quiet start to this match. Quiet first 24 minutes by his standards anyway. Marum's long ball. Webster received it from his new teammates. Wade Decker. Chesnick marauding around. His pass blocked. Of course, there is a set of circumstances in which Avondale could finish the round on top of the table. Of course, for that to come to fruition, they would have to come from behind and win here tonight. They would also need Heidelberg United to beat Oakley, and they would also need, maybe the most unlikely, Hume City to not win against the Dandenong Thunder tomorrow. Avondale, who of course won the Premier's Plate last season and were on their way, or they might have thought anyway, to a championship before Hajduk put a fork in the road in that preliminary final that was so brilliantly called by Steve Curtin. Decker wasn't able to release Xander Guy, who got himself into an offside position. And then Kim loses the ball in midfield. This is Zimmerino. Ayuk Mo being watched by Jackson Lino. Trycheski. Avondale go from one side to the other. Carpenter, we know, can shoot from distance. Interjected again by Varley Chesnick. Dandenong City back in possession.
Well, that interception by Zimmerino off picking off Danny Kim. I don't know if Danny Kim saw him coming. He just disappeared, or he just appeared out of the fog. Took the ball off him. This is Webster. And now Bauer showed too much of it to Wellsmore. Zimmerino, who's switched flanks for the moment with Ayuk Mo. Coming from left to right.
Perhaps they might have been better off tactically, Dandy City, tonight, wearing the all-white, like the Army wear the camo when they're out in the wilderness. You would have just completely lost sight of them.
Definitely hard to pick up for the opponent. So you just fancy, Brent, it's going to come down to the sides that can switch the ball from left to right and right to left the most effectively and quickest tonight. This pitch, although it looks a bit iffy from up here, actually a pretty good surface to move the ball around on with its upgrades in the off-season. Mixture of cooch and a weave synthetic through there as well. There's the odd bobble still, but the ball seems to skip across the track pretty well. Definitely improved on last season, so Avondale are trying to make the most of that, being the ball-playing side that they are out there. And Dandy City going to be dangerous on the break as well, as we've seen already in this match. And here they go, trying to get forward again. No one stayed up top high enough, though. Here's Guy throwing his weight around on the halfway line. Referee eventually sounding his whistle. Nick Tolios not happy where the free kick was taken. It was about 10 yards further forward than where it took place.
He's eagle-eyed.
It's the little things that get you. Yeah.
Nothing gets past him. Very experienced manager, the eye for detail.
Well, I'm sure you can hear all of that through our effects night tonight. Great setup here with John behind the camera, giving you the best look at the action, even when you can't see it through the fog. Bauer getting away from Wellsmore. Decker got shoved to the ground by Patrick Flotman. So the set-piece opportunity for Dandy City to get up the park. They've been pinned back in their own defensive half a little bit too much in the last 15 minutes or so. Best part of half an hour gone here, and it's the goal by Timothy Atharinos, his 6th of the season on 4 minutes, that separates the two sides, set up by a lovely diagonal pass from his fellow winger Will Bauer. Nick Tolier still with plenty to say to fourth official Max Hanlon, as we see Bauer standing over this one with the left-footed delivery. He puts it to the back stick. It's an easy take there for Gibson. Man who, as we said, hasn't really had a whole lot to do tonight. The only shot on target was the one that broke the deadlock.
Interesting player, Will Bauer, left-footed but plays on the left side. Normally you like the left-footers on the far side so that they can cut in. Terrific play. I thought he was probably close to their best player in that loss at City Vista last week.
Yeah, he definitely had a good game. And look, that is the classic way for teams to set themselves out as well. Modern era. We saw with the Socceroos today, Geordie Boss, the left footer playing down the right-hand side with no Italiano, and it was good to see both Boss and Beige both getting a chance in the same 11, and cutting in, he was dangerous as well.
He was so good this morning, Geordie. Fornaroli gets on the end of the carpets across it. Took a touch off the defender last, so it will be an Avondale corner kick, their first of the night. So a chance for the big guys to make their way forward. They're not the biggest team, Avondale, are they? They've got Ott and Flotman who are big guys, but that's it really.
Yeah, Matt Reid out injured at the moment.
Avondale from the corner, loft into the back post, put the pressure on the keeper, it's off the crossbar, and then George Ott has spooned it over the crossbar from inside the 6-yard box.
And look at the reaction there too, Brent. He was motionless on the deck in the 6-yard box after that.
Wow, he's had 2 golden opportunities in this first half, the Kiwi, and on another night, he would have had a brace already and Avondale would have turned this around. But alas, it is still Dandenong City 1, Avondale 0.
Well, it was so close. Flotman winning the header at the back post against 2 white shirts. It came off the crossbar. It looked for all money that it was going to squirm over the line one way or another. George Ott coming off that hat-trick last week. Unable to trouble the scoreboard attendance so far tonight. Wellsmore able to play it back to Gibson. Ott won the flick on. Zimmerino riding shotgun, and he finds a bit of space in the middle of the Frank Holohan reserve here. Carpenter moving up from left back. Once again, he gets it into the box early, looking for the New Zealander Ott. He can line it up with Trycheski, Christian Trycheski. Good save, Marum. Lino taking some liabilities, trying to play it out of his penalty area. Again, Lino gets it away. Should I say some liberties as he tries to get it out of his penalty area. He was... Oh, and look at that. Xander Guys cops one right where you don't want to cop the football, I think, as he's down on the ground. So a bit of carnage out there in the last couple of minutes, Brent, as Carpenter finds Trycheski, skips around one. Ayuk Mo, strong challenge coming in from Chesnick.
Get up!
Xander Guy back up on his feet.
Up!
not the night you want to cop one right in the agates.
I'm pretty sure that's where it was delivered. He went down, and I didn't see the direct contact, but he went down in such a way that would have suggested that. He's sucking in the big ones now. He's got the hands behind the head.
Steve, we're heading for half-time in the Village. Heidelberg United 0, Oakley 0.
It's a tough one. Who was your selection going into that game?
I would have sat on the fence, I think. I would have picked
A draw?
A score draw. Yeah, I would have expected there to be goals.
Well, yeah, Oakley haven't been held scoreless all season, so it would be quite something if it was a scoreless draw or a 1-0 for Heidelberg. Big second half to come in that one. Big second half to come here as well. We've still got plenty of first half action as well before the players disappear down the tunnel.
We've got 2 other games kicking off at 8:30 as well.
Yeah, late the night shift coming up there at Kingston Heath. Bentley Greens and Altona Magic, a genuine 6-pointer there.
I wonder if there'll be fog at Kingston Heath. We can often get fog like we have here tonight out there in Cheltenham.
We'll have to take a look at the live stream a little later, and we can have a. Not sure if is there a universal or international measure of the amount of fog that's affecting a sports field?
There would be. I'm sure there would be.
Can't
Steve.
think of what the word for it would be. We'll have to check that at half time. Can compare notes with our broadcast team who's getting set up there for the 8:30 kickoff now at Kingston Heath. That other match at St Albans, Churchill Reserve. In Melbourne's northwest. St Albans against Melbourne City, who've slumped to a couple of losses in a row after going on a run of 4 consecutive wins to move them up into the top 6. They've got a game in hand as well, have the Melbourne City youngsters. Carpenter driving inside, trying to find space. It's very congested in the top of the box there. Look at Ashcroft charging out of the defensive line. Here's the Dandy City number 6. The switch is on here for Atharinos, or he might just go his own way. He finds Zandergai with the snapshot. It came off a hand. You dare say the hand was in a natural position, but I also suspect that Nick Tolios won't be too impressed with the lack of a Dandy City free kick following that one, Brent.
We don't have hydration breaks in the NPL Victoria. We also don't have VAR, of course, so that certainly looked like a handball to me, as Steve's having a look at the replay. Alas, no decision made. No penalty decision made, I should say, from our referee, Lucas Mattia.
Yeah, definitely skimmed off the arm of Patrick Flotman, but it would have been harsh and it would have been potentially just inside there. It would have been harsh to blow up for a spot kick or even a free kick on the edge of the area for that one against Patrick Flotman, I fancy.
Great touch a moment ago there from Carpenter. Long diagonal ball here for Hyder, looking for Bauer. Wellsmore wears him close. Bauer gets rid of him. Bauer scores for Dandenong City, who remarkably have doubled their lead 10 minutes from half-time. Will Bauer with an assist and a goal. And Avondale are in a spot of bother in the deep southeast in the fog at Frank Holohan.
Well, they've been blown off course here tonight by this Dandenong City side. They are so capable in those sort of moments on the break again. That's how we thought they would do the damage, and they've done just that. And you can see the dejection between Jack Gibson and Jacob Muir there, having a full-on spat after that one went in. Wellsmore also, you would imagine, will feel culpable for that one too, being shoved out of the way of the football. But Will Bauer is the man to double the lead for Dandy City. Scored last week, scores again this week, and what a time to score as well. Inside 10 minutes till half-time, and it's a 2-0 lead for Dandenong City, and they've done what no one has done in 4 weeks, which is to score against Avondale, and tonight they've done it twice. But we're going to get a change here for Dandy City, Brent, which maybe wasn't the plan given how early in the match it is.
So not all good news for Dandy City. So the captain, Jack Webster, obviously not feeling 100% after that incident earlier. So he's coming off, and he's going to be replaced by Jack Pariah-Cullen, who is a defender by trade, but normally in the wide areas. So we'll just see what this means for the Dandy City formation shake-up.
Looks like he's going straight into that central defensive position there, Brent. So definitely a challenge there for the 22-year-old from the ACT.
Yeah, of course, he was one of the boys that played in the Oz Championships last year for Canberra, Croatia, and was, well, impressed enough to get an opportunity playing down here in the NPL Victoria. It's his 13th appearance of the season.
Might get a chance to go toe-to-toe against his former teammate, Max Green, if Max Green can get on the pitch in the second half. So, here we are. The stage is really set now. It's Dandy City, a 2-0 lead. Can Avondale get one back quickly? It was cleared away well by the substitute, Ray Cullen. So a good first involvement. That'll give him confidence. He got some words of assurance from his captain as they cross paths on the touchline to complete the substitution. You just see how much of a leader and how well respected Jack Webster is here in these parts, Brent.
Yeah, well, he's been around a long time, 3-time championship winner. As Dandy City have a free kick here to the edge of the box. Flotman wins the header, backing by Ascroft, but just bounces gratefully back into the gloves of Jack Gibson. They haven't really had a lot of chances, Dandy City, have they, in this first half? They've had the 2 goals and then that long-range effort for Ascroft that went just wide.
And I don't think Jack Gibson has made a save.
No. Avondale have had a lot of the play in their attacking half. They've had a lot of touches in their own 18-yard box. Those 2 great chances from George Ott. They loom large at the moment, don't they, as Decker intercepts. And again, they're just happy to bang it forward and look to recruit the run here of Xander Guy. Well, it's all but certain that they're going to trail at half-time, Avondale. They've only trailed at the break 3 times this season, and they've lost all 3 games. Life comes at you hard and fast in the NPL Victoria. Round and around goes Fornaroli. After that 11-0 victory last week, and straight back down to earth. Still plenty of time, though, of course, and Avondale are a great team. They've scored more goals than any other side in the top division this season, so certainly wouldn't write them off just yet, Steve.
No, that's right. And you wonder if maybe Jonathan Germano will be looking at making some changes at half-time. The outfield players available for him tonight, Murphy Bennett, Marcus Fakrana, so both defenders. Attacking options, Max Green, the youngster Morgan Holt that got some minutes off the bench last week, and Sita Murai, the creative midfielder. 5 goals in all competitions for him. Another player coming out of the Oz Championship in the postseason last year up at Moreton City Excelsior. Headed by Ashcroft. It's picked up by his opposing defensive midfielder in Ute Towns, who distributes it nicely to Blake Carpenter, putting it out in front of Ayuk Mo. Reading it better was Chesnick, who plays it up the line over onto that far and foggy side of Frank Holohan Reserve. So Avondale, for all their possession, they find themselves with a 2-goal deficit to try and erode as we approach the half-time break. A goal before the break would do wonders to give them some momentum going into that second half.
They'll be bitterly disappointed that they haven't scored already, Avondale, but made to feel all the more uncomfortable by the 2 goals shipped at the other end. Mo was beaten to it there by Danny Kim. Carpenter retrieves it on the far side through the fog and the silhouettes watching on the hill. Towns picking up some territory. Fornaroli shoots from distance and diving and diffusing the bomb down low is Matthew Marum.
Couple of nervy moments for him early tonight, Brent, but
yes,
he started to feel his way into the game pretty well.
Of course, he's still without Pierce Clark, Dandy City. We don't have any news on what's going on with Pierce Clark, not in the matchday squad tonight, I should say. Lovely flick there by Bauer. Decker trying to repay the favour, but he didn't know that Will Bauer had pulled up. And so it's back here with Wellsmore, who might still be thinking about that one-on-one that he lost with Will Bauer a few moments ago, that allowed Will Bauer to score and double the Dandy lead.
Will Bauer looks so confident there, like he was never going to miss, but also never going to miss out on the chance to take on the shot.
It was an interesting contest, wasn't it? Because it looked like Wellsmore knew what he was doing, but it was actually Will Bauer that knew what he was doing. He knew that he was going to be able to knock Wellsmore off course and then take the shot one-on-one with the goalkeeper in the end. So calm and so composed. Will Bauer, his 4th goal of the season, to go along with his 3rd assist earlier tonight. He's Ott out wide for Avondale. He blows straight past Will Bauer. Drives the cross in low. Then Zimmerino going for power rather than placement, and he blasts it past that far post. And another good opportunity comes and goes for the Avengers.
That's right, and credit to the substitute, Jack. Great Cullen there, because he spread himself pretty well and just put Zimmerino off, and it was an awkward shot in the end from Zimmerino off the outside of his left foot.
What have you made of his first season here in Victoria, Zimmerino, Steve?
I think he's still finding his feet. He got the opportunity to be in the starting in that squad early on in that first game, round 1 against South Melbourne, and was expecting big things from him, a player with A-League experience and a reasonable amount of it, but he hasn't quite integrated into the squad as well as some of their other off-season signings. It's always a little bit harder when you're an attack-minded player as well. You're going to be judged on goals and assists and that sort of thing, but certainly some of the better signings that have integrated into the team, that's of Pat Flotman, Jacob Muir, Jack Gibson as well.
Yeah, 43 A-League appearances for Brisbane Roar, which is quite a lot, isn't it?
Yeah, so he might click into gear at the right end of the season, and that's what Jonathan Gimano will be hoping, and they're giving him plenty of game time at the moment to try and do so. Just 1 goal so far, so got a bit of work to do. Gibson is alert to the danger here. He slices that clearance, but a whistle had already gone.
Jacob Muir.
So Muir is down holding his head at the other end of the park. So Lucas Mattia sensibly over to check on the welfare of the Avondale central defender, but looks like he'll be okay to continue. But where will the restart take place from here? Will Bauer with a bit of advice for in a dialogue with 4th official Max Hanlon.
Yeah, I think they're asking, well, if it's a head injury.
I think Dandy City, did they not have possession when the whistle went?
I think that's what the conversation was with the 4th official, Max Hanlon, down below. A conversation that is now continuing with the manager, Nick Tolios.
Avondale now returning the ball. You can see the Avondale players telling Gibson to just kick it back to Dandy City, but of course they'll feel aggrieved that they were in the front half in their attack, and now they're all the way back in their own penalty area. And Flotman on the chest, striding forward in the shadows of half-time. Ashcrofts runs straight into Ute Towns, a man with the lower centre of gravity. Evades 1, then a second challenge, and he gets a free kick for his troubles. 4th official Max Hanlon has got the digital board in his left hand as we await to see how much added time. There has been a couple of injury stoppages, most notably for Jack Webster, who went down holding his right knee. He was able to play on, but eventually subbed out and replaced by Jack Perak Cullen. And it's going to be an additional 3 minutes at the end of this first 45. So there is time for Avondale to wrestle back a goal as Carpenter goes from downtown. It bounces awkwardly in front of Murray on the follow-up. Fornaroli and Flotman were there, but they couldn't apply the killer touch to knock it into the back of the Dandy City net. Well, that was an audacious attempt from Blake Carpenter to shoot from there. Murray couldn't quite handle it. And again, Dandy City racing the ball forward. And the speed of Atherinos, who's like a spring-heeled jack out there tonight, again causing just a few heart flutters for this Avondale defence.
We had 3 or 4 players in that sequence that had a swing and a miss. There was a near goal line clearance. They will go into the sheds wondering how on earth they haven't scored and how on earth they are 2 goals in arrears. Avondale, we've got a long throw in here for Dandy.
You just wonder, Brent, if on this newly designed surface, as redone in the off-season, the ball sits up a little higher when it bounces. As the ball's in by Bauer, all hands to the pump here for Avondale as Bauer curls this one into the roof of the Filipovic stand.
It's going to be an interesting half-time team talk for Jonathan Germano, Avondale manager, because I don't feel like they've played badly at all. They've given themselves plenty of opportunities to score, had plenty of touches in their attacking 18-yard box. They've missed some glorious chances.
You could say he doesn't need to change a whole lot. They just need a bit more incisiveness.
They certainly don't want to go 3-0 down into the halftime break.
Gibson was coming out of his goal there. Flotman got a bear hug from Queenslander Xander guy.
Yours Dex.
Good to see Muir back up and running as well after that knock a moment ago.
Easy!
Towns rolling forward for Avondale. They'd love to be able to pinch one goal here.
Hold him, Bowers.
First half stoppage time.
Hold him, Bowers. Go backwards. Come out, Dex.
There's an opportunity for Towns to get the ball in the box. He decides to play it down the line. Step overs from Tchaikovsky. Low ball into the box this time. It might break for Ott, but again, he's got a bunch of white shirts around him. Sesnick's down in back play. He's back up on his feet. Fornaroli went down. He's asking the question to Lucas Mattia. Play on's the call.
Come up.
That should just about do us for half-time. Maybe one last roll of the dice. Walesmore's ball through. Walesmore again. The whistle is in the mouth for Lucas Mattia. Ayuk Mo is the target. His touch lets him down, and that'll be half-time, and it's a surprise lead here. As far as many pundits are concerned, this Avondale side banging in the goals in recent weeks, 11 last week, but they find themselves conceding their first 2 goals in NPL Victoria in the last month, both in the first 45. And it's Atherinos and Bauer that have done the damage here, Brent. And Dandy City, they're going to head into the dressing rooms to hopefully warm up a little bit on this cold, foggy Frank Holohan evening. But they're going to head in and they're going to reflect on this 2-goal cushion that they have and how best to hang on to it or perhaps even add to it.
Yeah, what a fascinating first half. Avondale probably looked the better team for most of the opening 45 minutes, and it's been a little bit smash and grabby from Dandy City, hasn't it? Two terrific passages of play for those first 2 goals. Great play from Bauer with the assist, and Atherinos scoring in the 4th minute, and then a Will Bauer goal in the 36th minute. Has Dandy City sitting comfortable here at half-time, but they know the job is not done. Avondale, the most feared attacking team in the league, just about. And we know that they've got goals in them. They probably should have scored a couple in that first half. They go into the half-time team talk, a frustrated team, Avondale. Brent Sternberg and Steve Curtin here with you on the Senol NPL Victoria YouTube channel. The score here at half-time at Frank Holohan. Dandenong City 2, Avondale 0. Welcome back, everybody. Friday night football at Frank Holohan Soccer Complex. We're ready to go for the second half. And if you're tuning in and having a look at the scoreline for the first time, don't adjust your TV sets. It is Dandenong City 2, Avondale 0. Goals in the 4th and 36th minute to Tim Atherinos and Will Bauer, respectively, has Dandenong City sitting on a 2-goal lead against Avondale, who scored 11 goals last week against Dandenong Thunder. Brent Sternberg and Steve Curtin here with you on the NPL Victoria YouTube channel. No changes made at half-time. Of course, Dandenong City have made one substitution already, as Yite Towns gets himself into a little bit of a jam. And he's done well to maintain possession there. So what do we think of this second half, Steve? What do you think the Avondale coaches would have spoken about? Is it as simple as, let's just get that last bit right, because they've done so much really well in this half, and they probably had the best 3 or 4 chances of the first half, just didn't put it in the back of the net.
That's right, 9 shots, 3 on target, and there's probably a lot that should have been on target that weren't, but they're going to have to be careful in these defensive situations as well, because they've been smashed on the break, and that's what's cost them tonight. But so has their lack of clinical finishing when they've had the opportunities in that Dandenong City penalty area. I think the message is really more of the same on the most of it, but to be calm and to be composed in front of goal is going to be the way that they can get themselves back into this game and keep playing as if it's 0-0. Nick Tolios will have been telling his side more of the same as well, thanks boys, because their game plan is working so far tonight, and he'll be hoping that it can continue, even without the leadership of Jack Webster out there, who was subbed off late in that first half with a bit of a knee injury that flared up earlier in the play. He went down, got some treatment, played on for a while, and he was subbed out and replaced by the boy from Canberra, Croatia, that being Jack Perek-Cullen. He's out there in the number 3 jersey in the centre of defence next to Gaku Inava, and it's going to be another set-piece opportunity for Avondale. We saw Blake Carpenter take the direct route to goal from almost this far out. This one a little bit too far out. George Ott flying high to get on the end of Trajewski's ball. In the fog, the big New Zealander, he might feel like he's back at home.
Yeah.
Patrick Flopman had got forward as well to add some height to the attack.
Has gotten a little worse, hasn't it, throughout half-time? The fog, it's certainly gotten thicker.
It has, and if you're enjoying this one at home, you've got the kettle on, you're keeping yourself nice and warm, got the heater on, 8 degrees out here in Endeavour Hills. A chilly, chilly night. And it feels like it's down to 6 or 7 here. Xander Guy's down on the floor. He wanted the free kick to go his way. He's the smartest man out there tonight, Xander Guy. The only outfield player wearing gloves. Got 2 pairs of gloves on if I was out there tonight, Brent. Lucas Mattia has blown up for another Avondale free kick here. And the boys in the white shirts, of course, if you can see them, that is the Dandy City players in the white shirts. Avondale are in the blue shirts. The white and blue versus the blue and whites. Lucas Mattia out there in the high visibility referee's top. Zimmerino's over on the far side. He emerges out of the fog and he wins Avondale's second corner of the evening.
Just the second corner kick of the match. We only had just the one in the first half. Of course, they had a couple of great opportunities that fell the way of George Ott. They hit the frame of the goal as well in that first half, Avondale. Is this the moment?
Important delivery here as the play is in the 6-yard box. They're going to look to see this ball emerge out of the fog over on the far side. In by Carpenter. Looked for the flick on at the near post, but a whistle on play. Lucas Mattia awards the free kick to Dandy City, and they can release the pressure valve here and take their time over the restart, which is certainly what the instructions are coming from the bench from Nick Tolios and Tommy Gavran, the coaching staff down there.
Well, it's only the 6th time in 18 games now that Dandy City have led at half-time. We mentioned when they scored, after they scored the first goal in the 4th minute, that they are not a team that have scored a lot of goals in the first halves. By virtue of that, they haven't led at the break all that often. Oh, Bauer, terrific. A goal and an assist already tonight. Ayuk Mo with a nice interception there. This is Yite Towns. Still going. Yite Towns in the midfield for Avondale. His 11th season playing for the Avengers. originally from Tasmania, was a part of the Avondale side that won the Doherty Cup in 2021, and of course the league a couple of years later. They won't be winning the Doherty Cup this year, Steve.
No, North Sunshine had their say on that one. Boys in the relegation zone in the second tier, knocking out these boys who are gunning for glory in Victoria's top flight.
We've got the semis, is that next week? Semis in the cup or the week after?
Yeah, and coming up the next couple of Tuesdays. Check your local guides for those ones. Bit of an old NSL rivalry. Brunswick Venison, Heidelberg United, and then North Sunshine Eagles hosting Preston at Lewis Reserve. A big foul there by Flotman, and Xander Guys on his side, a handy free kick, and Flotman becomes the first Avondale player to go into Lucas Matia's notebook. That's his 4th yellow card of the season. And look at Tim Atherinos there looking to come and replace the divots.
Did you feel like that was a challenge that Flotman had to make? Guy was chasing the ball right towards the touchline. It didn't look like he was really going to go anywhere.
It surprised me when he flew in as well, Brent, I have to say. But, that's why he's a top-flight central defender, and we're up here doing the descriptions of it. Oh, chance here. Oh, on the break. Good save, Gibson, from the substitute, Parrot Cullen. Oh, it just opened up for him. He had a lot of time there. Out of nowhere, the central defender. Off the bench and almost onto the score sheet for Jack Parrot Cullen. And Xander Guy's going to play the ball in behind here for Atherinos. Can he get there before it crosses the byline? Gets the cross in. It's away by Muir. As I say, it almost crosses the byline, or the end line if you're an American commentator at the World Cup.
Don't say end line, Steve. That has annoyed me greatly. Fair. We've had some strange plays at the teeth of goal so far in this match. We've had little deflections or goalkeeper saves that have been parried away but not straight towards an attacker. Guy pushed away by Gibson. Krajewski trying to run it out of defence. He's turned around and eventually the whistle comes. What I mean by that is we've had a lot of goalkeeper saves that have deflected and not fallen into the path of an oncoming attacker that you see so often happen.
And another one just in that previous phase of play as well.
All the way back to Matthew Marram, who has plans on keeping a clean sheet tonight. Here's Wade Decker.
Great ball.
It is indeed. Bauer on the far side, and now Xander Guy. Should we get in towards the back post? Atherinos was there or thereabouts, going against Carpenter. Well done there by Blake Carpenter to keep it alive. Mo back for Carpenter. Infield, and Krajewski has some room to roam. And roam he does. He goes past the fallen Danny Kim, and then he gets bowled over by Bauer. No foul. Waved away by Lucas Matia, and Dandenong City take their turn coming forward.
Well, Jonathan Guevara is not happy with the play on call, and Krajewski is still down in back play as well. I'm not sure if he's injured or just upset with the situation. Did look a little awkward as he went to ground. It was a great run as well by Christian Krajewski, picking up the ball in the centre circle. Just at the base of the centre circle. He charged through the middle of Frank Holohan reserve. Knocked to the floor by his opponent. Just looking to get back up and find his feet. He's been busy tonight. He's had to work in some very tight areas. That plays into his strong suit. Such good close control.
Another one that's played a lot of football at Avondale. Christian Krajewski. One season at Avondale in 2017 and then went away for a few years, played a bit in Portugal and then returned in 2021. What a player. What a player he has been for the Avengers.
Yeah, one of these good, loyal assets they've had at the Avengers. Like the likes of he and Yute Towns, Matthew Reid, Steph Valentini, who's been away and come back again. Chance for Carpenter, another player who's been at the Avengers for a number of years now, and he doesn't win his side a corner this time. It must have come off he last, as he battled for the ball with Vali Sesnik in the corner. Got some goals around the grounds. Let's take a look. Heidelberg and Oakley still locked at 0-0. So that one getting into the latter stages of the second half. Altona have taken the lead down at Kingston Heath in that 6-pointer. That would be huge 3 points if Altona are able to hang on there. And Melbourne City leading at Churchill Reserve against St Albans Dynamo. So plenty happening, and it's an interesting time of the season at the top of the table, in the middle, and definitely at the bottom end of the table too, where survival is paramount for these clubs. 3 going down out of this 14-team league, so it is very, very cutthroat.
Fornaroli with his back to goal, wrestling with Pariah Cullen. Still Fornaroli and Pariah Cullen. Well done by Jack there to get in the chat. Oh, and Fornaroli's lashed out. He's going to go into the book here, Bruno. He thought that there was maybe illegal tactics used to dispose him of the football, and now we've got the first flashpoint, and we have got words going on here between the coaches down below us as well.
Well, the Dandy City coaching staff are incensed, and they think that Fornaroli should have been shown a direct red card there for putting a knee into his opponent behind the play. Let's have a look at the replay behind the play. What happened here? Fornaroli getting back up and continuing the hostilities.
He's pleading his innocence here, Bruno Fornaroli. I think he can maybe consider himself lucky that it's only a yellow, and the best thing to do might be to just walk away. But they weren't happy, were they? The Dandenong City, Nick Tolios and his
absolutely furious, the boys down there. And well, credit to Jack Parate Cullen. He didn't take a backward step there against the experienced striker.
He showed great strength in that contest, didn't he?
He did. Fornaroli is so good at that. We've seen that over the years from when he first arrived in Australia at Melbourne Heart and Melbourne City. He's able to use that low centre of gravity and that strength through the hips to roll defenders. He picks up his 3rd yellow card this campaign. Does the Uruguayan turned Socceroo. The man with 17 goals in 17 games leading up to tonight. He'd love to make it 18 in 18, but at the moment the frustration is setting in for him, and you can see that in that last phase of play, just lashing out a little bit after that tussle. But you just see behind the play there, they're exchanging some pleasantries, and that is good to see that has simmered down now. Long throw comes into the box. It's away by Ott, only as far as Lino. Chance for Ashcroft. He can shoot from distance. Not the first time he's tried that tonight. That one was blocked. Valley Chesnick. And Atharinos, the man who opened the scoring after only 4 minutes. Great Cullen. Atharinos is... Ball's a little too vertical this time, and Avondale can try and bring it forward through Gibson, and now Muir again.
Wellsmore rolling forward. Need to find this goal. Avondale, and quickly before time starts to become a factor. Of course, they'll need 2 to get something out of the match. Long diagonal. It's controlled by Carpenter. He's battling away with Chesnick. Carpenter wins that battle. Down goes Ayuk Mo, and a foul. And a set-piece situation here for Avondale. So they can conjure here from the set-piece situation. We have played an hour of football here at Frank Holohan. Dandenong City 2, Avondale 0. Scoreline that I don't think too many would have predicted.
Avondale with plenty of free kick opportunities, but they haven't really converted them into anything meaningful so far tonight. Really good quality on this ball for that back post area, and try and pick out a target in there. And Xander Guy was back to put his body in the way, and they're going to get another chance for the corner kick here. Carpenter over to take the in-swinger again, as is the standard routine, trying to put pressure on Matthew Marum in goal, who's been pretty good since he had a couple of nervy moments charging out of his goal in the first 5 or 10 minutes of this encounter.
All lined up along the goal line. Standing on the toes of the goalkeeper, Matthew Marum. Blake Carpenter to swing it in. From out of the cloud, in towards the near post. He rifled it in there. Couldn't get it past the first defender. Might get another crack here. Carpenter swings it in. Carpenter, the header from Flopman. And then it's in the mix. And then somehow, again, Avondale are denied. Last-ditch defending by the Hajduk defenders. That's another corner kick for Avondale. And first, we've got a little bit for our referee, Matea, to mop up here. I think we've got Matthew Marum, the goalkeeper, who's ran into some foul play there.
Well, it's incredible last-ditch defending. And this time it's Gaku and Arba on the goal line, throwing himself at the ball. And the home supporters in the Filipovic stand right behind the play there, really enjoying the commitment that they've seen from the Dandenong City players there. As Trycheski floats this corner in, it's all the way to the back post. Carpenter was flying up and over the top like he was trying to take a specky. He got his head on that one, but it lands on the roof of the net. Just a good result for Dandy City, controlling the tempo of this one, enjoying this 2-goal cushion. No change to the scores around the ground, still 0-0 at the Village. And it's the teams on the road, the Magic and Melbourne City, that lead against Bentley Greens and St Albans respectively. Change coming up here, and it's another former Canberra, Croatia player coming in from the ACT, coming into the game. It's Max Green. And I think Zimmerino's gone across over there on the far side, has he, Brent? He has indeed. He's vanished. He's out there with the Kangaroos in the fog on the far side as Adam Zimmerino, who wasn't able to get himself on the score sheet. He had one chance on the outside of the left foot in the first half that went narrowly past the post, but he didn't get as much purchase on it as he would have liked.
10th appearance of the season, 6th start for Zimmerino. Only the one goal. One loss over the head of Max Green, who I reckon he thought Carpenter was maybe a little closer than he was. In actual fact, he was nowhere near the recently introduced Avondale substitution. So we're into the final third of the match. Still Avondale plot their way back into the game. How on earth have they not scored tonight? Certainly not for a lack of trying.
So it looks like Max Green's going to line up on the left-hand side. Mo out on the right.
Green has scored 5 goals this season, 2 in the league. Long ball forward, Bauer is there. Read well by Wellsmore. Well brought down there by Chesnick, and then plays it off Max Green and out of play for a throw-in. Max Green, a 22-year-old. Another one, as we mentioned earlier, from Canberra, Croatia. And also from Belconnen and the Monaro Panthers. Impressed on the national stage in the Oz Championships. Carpenter with a little nutmeg. Ott lets it run. Little touch there from Ascroft. Looks Matea waves it away emphatically and immediately, and it's nothing more than a throw-in.
Avondale certain that was a free kick just on the edge of the area. Dandenong City substitutes are warming up down near the playground area to the left of screen here. As the long throw comes in from Max Green, grappling in the box was Ott. There's a few boots swinging around, and now Will Bauer's going to show some speed as he charges out of his own half, and he's, there's a yellow card being shown here, but is he in a bit of injury trouble here, Will Bauer? He got a tremendous amount of speed up, and he pulled up a little bit lame. It doesn't look good for Will Bauer.
No, and he's been so impressive tonight. He did pull up like it was some sort of maybe a hamstring injury. That's normally how players pull up when they hear something go in the back of the leg. That would be such a shame. He's been in great form these past few weeks. Will Bauer has played a role in both of the Hajduk goals in the first half. Of course, scored the second one.
I think it was Christian Trycheski that was shown the yellow card there in the shadows.
Not easy for us to see out there tonight. I hope that the pictures are coming through. Oh, golly, look at that. It's tough for you at home watching as well. Johnny, our cameraman's doing his best, but we can only work within the conditions that we have to battle against.
Well, Will Bowers back up on his feet. He's getting a drink from the trainer.
He's not moving entirely freely.
He's going to try and run it off, so hopefully that's a good sign as the free kick is floated into the back post area. George Ott is back to do the defensive work. Trycheski. Shot from distance was blocked. It was Atherinos who took it on. George Ott's done well. Had his shirt pulled.
Yeah, Nick Tolios was not happy with that effort from distance there from Atherinos. I think, why are we doing stupid stuff, I think he said. Stuff.
That's the
like
word.
That, yeah.
That is the word. I'm sure that was picked up on the effects mic. It's exactly the words of the gaffer Nick Tolios down there as Dandenong City. They've got everyone behind the ball here. Here's Carpenter. Jinks inside. Looking for Mo. Plays it out in front of himself. Away by Chesnick. It's all Avondale back there. Gibson in the bright orange. He's one player who's easy to identify. Combines with Flotman. Ute Towns. Muir bounced up a little bit awkward, a little bit high, and he's in a bit of a joust with Xander Guy. Ott couldn't control it. The ball just does seem to bounce a little higher than you anticipate on this pitch, and I wonder if that has played its part in the way this match has played out here. As the ball's played in behind for Wade Decker. A goal on debut would be something special for the new Dandenong City signing. Xander Guy pulls the trigger. It's Xander Guy, and it's narrowly past the far post. Jack Gibson didn't get a touch. It's just going to be a goal kick. And Xander Guy, just about good night and thank you there.
Just on Wade Decker, he's had a quiet night, hasn't he, on debut for Dandenong City. Got away recently on international duty, you were telling me, Steve. For the football powerhouse Sri Lanka.
It's good to see these players in NPL Victoria representing in the international window. Getting himself on the score sheet against Bhutan as well. So really good to see players in the league putting their best foot forward. Fornaroli is returning back from an offside position here, so the move's going to break down for Avondale yet again. They can ill afford to have the offside flag being raised when they are getting into these attacking opportunities, because this second half is evaporating away quicker than the Avengers might like.
21 minutes left.
And there's going to be another change coming up for Jonathan Germano as well, so it's Sita Murray is being readied. Came on off the bench last week. It's his chance as a second half sub again today. Who will be the player coming off, though, is the question. Oh, it's Ute Towns. So it's an aggressive move here, taken off a holding midfielder for a attacking midfielder in Sita Murray. So Ute Towns is hurrying off the far side over there. Sita Murray straight out into the action. So almost 70 minutes gone here at Frank Holohan. Hope you're enjoying the drama of this one. Steve Curtin and Brent Sternberg with you tonight. It's the Senol NPL Victoria, round 18 of the competition. Touch for Decker, plays it out wide. Looking to get in on the end of it again. It's Wade Decker. Oh, and it's a good save. The whistle had already gone for offside. Decker certainly didn't feel he was offside.
Starting to come into the game, though. The veteran goal scorer in the Senol NPL Victoria. 84 goals in 234 appearances. And he's back onto the job here. Wade Decker. George Ott runs past to apply the run. Decker brought down. Play allowed to roll. Atherinos fires wide. There was a foul in there, but Lucas Matia allowed the advantage to be played, and Atherinos looking for a second goal, just curling it away from the frame. That was a really poor giveaway in midfield there from Avondale.
Yeah, they can ill afford to do that. Credit to referee Lucas Mattia for letting that flow as well and giving Atherinos the chance to take the shot, even if Wade Decker would have liked it brought back for a free. The pressing game that Dandenong City's front 3 or 4 have played has been key to this as well. And Wade Decker, while he may not have had a busy game on the ball, and he's got into it a bit more in the last 15 minutes or so, his pressing game has been good. Different sort of player in that role to what Jamie Latham provides. But the experience that he's got is going to be invaluable to this Dandenong City side. And you mentioned they've got a bit of work to do if they want to play finals football again for the 3rd year in a row, especially with that point deduction hampering their chances. But well, if they can keep showing football like this, who would say no?
Well, this time last season, Dandy City, they were only 3 points out of the finals positions. Of course, ended up sneaking into the finals and went on that great run. Long ball forward, Atherinos, he's onside. He's shoved by Carpenter. Nothing untoward according to the referee, and the ball trickles out harmlessly for a goal kick.
Yeah, I think when you're moving as fast as Atherinos is moving, then the pistons were pumping. It only takes the most minor bit of contact to knock you off balance.
Yeah, so they were 3 points back of 6th place this time last year, Dandenong City. Of course, coming into match week 18 this weekend, they are 7 points. That will change if they're able to hold on to this 2-0 lead here at home. But of course, you factor in that 4 points deduction. And if not for that, they would have been in the exact same position that they were this time last season. As they are fighting over who last touched this one. In fact, it's a foul just inside the pitch. They're just fighting. Trajewski trying to clear a path for himself. Atherinos, who's sort of drifted in and out of the game tonight.
When he's in it, he's really in it though, isn't he? He's been really impressive again tonight in the moments that matter.
Lit the fire in the 4th minute for Dandenong City. Got the crowd into the game. Dandenong City's fastest goal this season. And Will Bauer's goal in the 36th minute. There's Dandenong City sitting on a 2-goal lead. Avondale have had so many close calls. They've had some really great golden opportunities in this match and still haven't been able to put the ball in the net.
And the concerning thing for Avondale as well is the best opportunities they've created, they all came in the first half. And in the second half, I think they're going to come into the game more and put some more pressure on Dandy City. But Dandy City have probably, from the chances that they've gone forward, they've probably created as good a chances in the second half as what Avondale have.
Even defensively, they've been really good tonight. Dandenong City as Carpenter. The official on this near side said that ball went out of play. I was just about to say Carpenter did ever so well to keep the ball alive, but it is out. And Dandy City down below us are readying a double change.
Yeah, you can see Nick Tolios and Bill Theodoropoulos talking to a couple of the replacements, and one of them is another new signing, which is Jackson Courtney Perkins. We should mention as well, from an Avondale point of view, 3 huge signings in the week that have taken place. Andrew Naboo, Luke Bratton and Adama Traore all coming into the Avengers squad. So these players should be, I'm not saying on notice, but they should be looking to put their best foot forward so they can hold their place in this match day squad for the run home to the finals.
Courtney Perkins, who spent a few seasons at Port Melbourne and, of course, a couple of years with Avondale.
Yeah, last season a big player there with Avondale. 26 appearances and a goal for Avondale in 2025. Playing pretty much in that right back role. He was job sharing with Emlyn Wellsmore quite often in that right back role.
Well, they're going to empty the benches, you would think, tonight, Avondale. Leave no stone unturned trying to get into the match. Here's Murai. Fornaroli. They're quickly onto him and he loses possession, and Decker now trying to bring Dandy City forward. Just had to tread water for a moment. He disappears into the fog on the far side.
He looks pretty match fit, Decker. He's played out there for the whole 75 minutes and he hasn't slowed down.
Dandy City once again in possession. A bit annoyed that they didn't get the foul a moment ago as Chesnick plays that one into the kangaroo paddock. That'll come back with some residue on it.
Absolutely. It's in the creek at a minimum, I would say, that one. Call for the spare football. That is the Dandenong Creek out there where that ball's ended up.
Ott's able to win a corner here for Avondale. We are in the 77th minute, so you're right, Steve. Time's starting to slowly become a factor for Avondale.
That's right, and the other player coming on is the man who scored deep into stoppage time last week, George Lambatarides. It's a disappointing corner from Trycheski. Can he get the second ball in? That's a better ball. Maram flaps at it. It's going to sit for Ayuk Mo. That's a sea of bodies. Always hard to get it through. There's a player down on the goal line here, so we're going to need to stop play. And it's the substitute, Jack Perrick-Cullen. He came on for Jack Webster in the first half. In that crowded penalty area, Ayuk Mo took on the shot. Just trying to get a feel of what actually happened there. He might have been collected, might have been a bit of friendly fire, as they say in the egg ball code there, Brent. Taken out by his keeper, I think.
It was a hearty mouth moment there because Maram just lost, he did lose sight of the football momentarily. Here comes that double change for Dandy City.
Yeah, so Wade Decker's time is up. So what a great contribution from him. And the other one is Xander Guy as well, who's making way. Plenty of grass stains on the shirt on the front of Xander Guy.
So a couple of, I suppose, more defensive-minded players coming on for two of Hajduk's attackers. Courtney Perkins, a wide player. Lambatarides, more of a defensive-minded midfielder, but has been known to score the odd goal here or there down the years, particularly from distance.
Well, again, his goal last week was just outside the box, and it would be strange to see him score goals from inside the box for George Lambatarides. One of the great names of NPL Victoria football, especially for the commentators, when he hits one from 25 or 30 yards and it flies in. Oh, mistake from Muir. Ball just kicked up in the air again. Lambatarides with his first touch. Made by Flotman. Free header for Danny Kim. Bit of aerial ping pong out there in the centre of Frank Holohan. Ball back on the deck now. Trycheski finds Carpenter. It's a clever pass out in front of Max Green. And could this be the moment for Avondale as he cuts it back? Ott got the touch. He was well marshalled by a couple of Dandenong City defenders. Over onto the foggy side. Ayuk Mo out in the shadows. The silhouettes on the right-hand side. He drifts inside into a sea of white shirts. Fornaroli scrapping on the ground. Flotman tries his luck from distance, but the shot was never really on from there. Good interception nonetheless, but he really had to try and pick the pass, you fancy. So this time it is Avondale's turn. Jonathan Germano's going to shuffle the pack a little bit here, and it's going to be a chance for Marcus Verkranis, the 23-year-old, previously with the Brisbane Roar, gets his chance, replacing Ayuk Mo. Now, interestingly, taken off a winger for a central defender here, so we'll just check the reshuffle. Are they going to three at the back and pushing the fullbacks up high and wide, perhaps? Keep an eye on that one, Brent Sternberg.
Yes, I will, Steve. Thank you. Into the final 10 minutes. Avondale, as we mentioned, emptying the benches. Still those two first-half goals for Dandenong City. This would be one of their best wins of the season. Good work on the far side there. And Kim eventually just ran into some trouble. Had a little nip at the heels of the Avondale player. Dandy City lose it in the exchange, and the long ball forward. Carpenter latches onto the long ball. Carpenter's cross. Cleared by the first defender there, Perrick-Cullen, who's been good since replacing Jack Webster. Fornaroli, look out. Trying to get it back in for Carpenter. Chesnick was in the right spot at the right time to clear. Avondale back in possession and plotting. Ball towards Ott with the high boots. Ascroft knocked him over and then told him to get up. They have scored a lot of late goals this season, Avondale. 11 goals in the final quarter hour of matches. second in the league. Here's a chance for Ott. And it's tremendously blocked by the Dandy City defender. That was Inaba. The ball spirals behind, and another chance for Avondale to try something here, this time from the set piece, the corner kick.
Oh, Brent, speaking of late goals, we've got a goal over at Olympic Village, and Oakley Cannons, who haven't gone a game without scoring this season, have managed to do it again, scoring in the 88th minute for a 1-0 lead against Heidelberg United. As this corner comes in, it was Ott getting on the end of it. Couldn't get enough force on it to trouble the Dandy City goal. Flotman puts it into the back post area, and they were lining up for it there. But the header was not with enough venom to trouble the goalkeeper from Jacob Muir. Forward by Matt Maram as the fog just keeps intensifying here at Endeavour Hills. Ashcroft might have overrun it, but he gets it from Lambadarides. Cut out by Flotman using the shoulder. Carpenter, pressure from Chesnick did the job. Ashcroft kept his feet, eventually went to ground though. And he gets the free kick, so Dandy City, less than 10 minutes to go for them to hold on, and they're just using all the opportunities they can just to control the tempo of this one. Handy free kick to get as Chesnick takes his time over the restart. Sending a few players forward, but not too many. Just dinks it up into the air. Picked up by Kim. Out wide is Lino. Haven't called his name too many times tonight. The Dandenong City left back. Space for Chesnick now. Murray trying to close him down.
Shuffle across DK. Lino.
Well, Nick Tolios will be very content with this kind of football. They're really controlling things out there, Dandenong City. And the team that matched up well against Avondale, they look like they're going to do it again here tonight. So this will make it their fourth win in 5. So they're definitely on a mission this side, and with the new signings, Decker and Courtney Perkins, they're showing that they mean business. So the teams above them on the table, holding on to those spaces around the top 6, will be looking to look over their shoulder, and look at that football from Billy Chesnick again. They're using all of his experience to win another free kick.
Appearance number 163 tonight for Marley Chesnick. Of course, a long time. Another one who come through Port Melbourne, was there for many years.
Yeah, linking up with Courtney Perkins once again.
Played some football as a younger man in the Eredivisie in Holland. Is there to be late drama here at Frank Holohan? All stuck on this near side of the pitch. No doubt there will be a big get-together on Sunday morning here at Frank Holohan when Croatia play their final group stage game against Ghana. I'd need to remind myself of the machinations of that particular group. They haven't been eliminated just yet, have they, Croatia? I'd have to double check.
I think Croatia's sitting in 3rd at the moment, but they'll be hoping to win that one and go through as one of the Auto 2 places. But definitely, if you're in the area here around Endeavour Hills, this would be the place to come and watch that game.
Of course, the Socceroos are already into the next round because we're a powerhouse football nation. No problems there.
Back-to-back group stage progressions for those Socceroos.
It's easy.
No problems.
Don't know why the Italians make it look so difficult. All of our Avondale friends watching back at home have just thrown their coffee mugs at the TV.
We'll have to be careful. We're aware that the comments were activated for this YouTube stream, which is not the norm.
Carpenter. And Fornaroli and Carpenter on the outside of the boot to come off the back of Ashcroft. Oh, Ott, brilliant to keep the attack alive! Oh, a stunning goal!
What a goal.
George Ott, who has come so close tonight. He's missed 2 golden chances from inside the 6-yard box, and then he goes and scores a worldie on the turn to throw Avondale a lifeline.
Well, just when you thought there was no route to goal for this Avengers side tonight, it's the 360 sole of the foot turn. Haven't seen that since FIFA 98, Brent. Turned his opponent. A little bit of cramp as he gets stuck into the pickle juice now.
So Dandenong City 2, Avondale 1. And Dandenong City have withdrawn Will Bauer. He's been replaced by Anastasios Georgakopoulos. And it's game on.
It's well and truly on. So Georgakopoulos looks like he's lining up on the right flank for Dandenong City. So all of a sudden it could just get a little bit nervy here in the last 5 minutes. Don't go anywhere. This NPL Victoria live stream, Friday night football, big contest there. Georgakopoulos, the substitute involved, going to ground against another substitute, Marcus Ferkranis.
He's a strong dude, Ferkranis, isn't he?
Yeah, he's certainly built like the proverbial brick outdoor building.
Well, they say it's the most dangerous lead in football, Steve. It's felt pretty comfortable for most of the night, hasn't it? But it feels perilous just at the moment.
All of a sudden, it feels like the rug has been pulled out from under the feet of Dandy City here, but they shouldn't change the way that they're taking on this encounter because they've been exemplary all night. Georgakopoulos, Muir. Space for Trycheski was closed down quickly by Danny Kim, and that's what Dandenong City have to keep doing. Just keep that pressure on the ball when Avondale are in possession. And they should be okay to come away with the 3 points. They sat on this 2-goal cushion for so long. So 38 minutes until the 85th minute.
The best part of an hour. Sitting on the 2-goal lead.
They go out wide now. Wellsmore getting into the box. Emlyn Wellsmore, Danny Kim again getting back. He's covering so much territory out there, Danny Kim, the defensive midfielder. Throw going the way of the Avengers.
Adjacent to the 18-yard box. Dandy City fans in the Filipovic stand move to the edge of their seats. It's a long throw in. It beckons through the night. Flopman's header straight up and down. Away by Lambatarides and further on by Atherinos. Feels like a long time ago he gave Dandy City the lead. Wellsmore's cross come shot is a disappointing one. It dips and falls over the frame of the goal. And Matthew Maram, who unfortunately won't have a clean sheet to write home about tonight, but he'll go and collect this football. And he'll send the ball back into play, and he'll hope that Dandy City can hold on for these last few minutes.
Yeah, he'll be annoyed at getting beaten in his near post there, Matthew Maram. There's no doubt about that, as much as he will be about not getting the clean sheet, but getting consecutive appearances. And a better performance by the boys than last week as well. He'll be happy with that in his 5th appearance this season. Not looking for the flick on. Maram will get another touch. Ball going long for Kranis, battling for it with Courtney Perkins. In behind is the opportunity for Atherinos! He's done it again! Off the mark in the 4th minute, and he does it again to finish this one off and seal the 3 points for Dandenong City. The man who seizes the moment, does it so well. He does it again and gets his 7th of the season.
Well, the happy goal-scoring days are here again for Timothy Atherinos. A hat-trick only a couple of weeks ago and a brace tonight. And what looks certainly now like being an iconic Hajduk victory at home. Bookended by wonderfully taken Timothy Atherinos goals.
He's just so good at finding those little spaces around the edge of the area. And when he does, his finishing is as good as anyone at this level.
Well, Flotman turned around there and saw Atherinos, and you almost saw the speech bubble above his head. You could see him saying, "Oh, how did you get there? Where'd you come from?" And Tim said, "From out of the fog."
Yes. Smart positioning outside the line of sight of the central defenders. They've all been drawn to the near side, the broadcast side, and Atherinos kills the game off. Dandenong City fans can start rehearsing their renditions of the team song, because the boys have done well to salute you tonight on a foggy and frosty Frank Holohan evening. Player down for Avondale over on the far side. Looks like Max Green back up on his feet. And we have got confirmation from our man in front of us, Max Hanlon. They've been added 5 minutes. Not too much time to hold out now that they've restored their 2-goal cushion for Hajduk. Courtney Perkins on debut off the bench, getting involved here. He's got 2 blue shirts to beat. And you can see some smiles on the Dandy City technical area. Tommy Gavran looks like a Cheshire cat down there. Nick Tolios hasn't got the smile on his face just yet. He's keeping a stern look until the whistle goes.
I reckon they'd be pretty damn happy with how relatively quiet they've been able to keep Bruno Fornaroli tonight, Dandenong City. For the most part, they've really frustrated him, which we saw early on in this second half in that moment where Bruno lashed out at Pryatt Cullen, I think it was, from memory.
Pryatt Cullen has relished the opportunity not only to get on the park, but to also match up and go toe-to-toe. He's wearing him like a glove right now in back play as they chase after the ball. George Ott's got on the end of this one, but the flag's up. He can just make it out over there on the far side. The assistant referee has flagged against the New Zealander. It was some goal by George Ott that got Avondale back into the contest, but it was only a matter of minutes, only 4 minutes later, and that 2-goal cushion was restored. Tim Atherinos, a memorable hat-trick in his last home game here in a memorable 4-1 win against Heidelberg United, and they've done it again against another top 4 side here tonight in the Avondale outfit, who have been outclassed in terms of clinical finishing, and Atherinos could be in for a hat-trick here. It stings the palms of Jack Gibson, and that was a golden opportunity, probably easier than the other 2 that he did score.
Well, we mentioned he had drifted in and out of the matches. Max Green, a cynical foul there on Lino. It's funny how you just score that second goal and now we'll walk away saying, "Oh, what a great night from Tim Atherinos." But it did feel like it certainly wasn't an even performance in terms of his output. He had his quiet moments in the match, but when his 2 opportunities come, he was able to finish. And really, how different it might have been if George Ott had the same sort of night that Atherinos did. I know Ott will go down on the score sheet with a goal, but on another night, Ott could have had a hat-trick of his own. 2 inexplicable misses in the first half. They would have been so disappointed that they headed into half-time behind. Avondale, who will be back at home next Saturday afternoon to take on Preston.
What a game that is.
Yes.
A couple of big games coming up for Avondale as well. The following week, they'll play Oakley Cannons.
So 2 huge games. They're going to lose a little bit of distance on Oakley. It's Fornaroli. There's a chance here to pull one back for Avondale. Fornaroli all the way to the byline.
Well, he just disappeared into the fog there, Fornaroli. He went around Matthew Marum. Matthew Marum has stayed down holding his hand here. Hopefully he's okay. That fog getting thicker and thicker.
Back to his feet now, the Dandy City goalkeeper. Corner taken short by the Avengers. In towards the near post, header away. Tracked down by Murai. Fornaroli spent so much of tonight with his back to goal. Does he have one late moment? Fornaroli! Oh, what a save! Matthew Marum, outstanding goalkeeping. It was coming through all sorts of traffic. He got down low to his right and turned it away.
Put that one in the highlights reel there. Great power from Fornaroli late in the game to drive away from his opponent and shoot, but what a save from Marum. And here's Carpenter. His shot is blocked. There's just too many white shirts to play through there. Green trying to find a way through. Inaba's not going to allow him. This will just about do us for full time, just about at Frank Holohan Reserve. Dandenong City looking to leapfrog St Albans tonight if the scoreline at Churchill Reserve stays as it is. Lambatarides, maybe there's even more fun here as Atherinos, he's still on a hat-trick. Can he find space for a shot here? He's chased by Jacob Muir across the face of goal, and it was only centimetres away from a hat-trick as we get full time from Lucas Mattia. And it's a golden night under foggy skies at Frank Holohan Reserve for Dandenong City. Inspired by Timmy Atherinos. A fantastic double from him on 4 minutes, and again in the 89th minute. Will Bauer on 36 minutes. George Ott made things interesting with his goal in the 85th minute. A fantastic individual effort from him, but too many missed opportunities that Avondale are going to rue after this one, Brent.
Yes, a night that could have been very different if they were just a little bit more clinical in front of goal. Who would have thought that we would be saying that about an Avondale team, a team that come into tonight having scored 50 goals already in the league in 17 matches, were only able to find one tonight. We don't do the XG in the Senol NPL Victoria, but their XG would have been quite high, I'd imagine. But what a night for Dandenong City. They're so disappointed to lose last week at the City Vista, a game in which they were out of it really before the half-hour mark. They were down 3-0 at half-time. And they started all guns blazing tonight with that early goal to Timothy Atherinos, and then the late goal from the same player to put the 3 points on ice. And on a night of low visibility here at Frank Holohan, Dandenong City have sent out a signal that the rest of the league will see. And, well, don't put a line through them just yet. They were terrific in the second half of the season, and they know they will have the belief, Steve, because they did it last year. They've just got to get into the top six, and from there, anything can happen.
That's right. They know how to play the right kind of football at the business end of the season. They've got a lot of confidence inside their squad and their coaching staff as well. You can see Bill Theodoropoulos chatting to some of the guys who came on off the bench tonight, including George Akopoulos. Nick Tolios is out there. So all the boys getting around one another, and look, they're going to really enjoy their weekend. What better way to start your weekend than a result like this against a club like Avondale, who've been going on the tear. So this Dandenong City side, people started to write them off as a serious proposition after losing to Georgie's last week. But they are a side to be reckoned with. As we said, 4 wins in their last 5 in the league. I like the way that they went about it tonight with their pressure on the ball, and Avondale couldn't handle it in the end, and they weren't good enough on a night when they would have expected to get another win to put with the rest. But Avondale pegged back. That's going to hurt their chances of trying to keep the pressure on at the top end of the table. A win for Oakley over at Olympic Village tonight, so Oakley looking to strike that top spot and that automatic position into the Australian Championship, which Avondale will, of course, be in by virtue of them being a foundation club of that. And Jonathan Germano and the coaching staff, Shane Rex Heppy, Michael Theo and co, they're all in a huddle on the park out there in the fog, having a real debrief about where this one went wrong. And they fell down tonight in a few areas, but perhaps it's one of those things when you have a win like last week, 11-0, it's hard to follow that up against a more competitive outfit, which is what they met in Dandy City tonight, Brent.
It's been an amazing change in fortunes, hasn't it, with all the goals that they were able to score last week. And tonight, it just didn't happen, and that's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes in football. So as we mentioned, the Avengers will play at home against Preston next Saturday afternoon. Dandenong City are away next Saturday to Hume City, which is another big game. They're all big games now for Dandy, who are trying to stay in touch with the top 6. Should we put tools down?
We will. We'll just give you a bit of a around the grounds for this weekend. We've still got a 1-0 lead for Altona Magic at Bentley, and Melbourne City a 1-0 lead for St Albans, both of those matches in the second half. So you can flick over to those ones on the NPL Victoria live stream on your YouTube page. I'm not sure if the comments are being enabled for those ones like they were for this one or not, but feel free to go in there and put in some praise for the broadcast team here. John behind the camera, Brent Sternberg, myself, Steve Curtin. Thank you very much for your company. As we were saying, you can catch some other great action over the weekend. Dandenong Thunder and Hume City, that's tomorrow at 5 p.m, just up the road from here. At 6 p.m, it's Caroline Springs George Cross against the Preston Lions, two of those classic old football clubs. And then South Melbourne with a home game on Sunday against Green Gully, that one at 3:30 p.m. South Melbourne looking to continue their good form from last week, and Green Gully just looking for that first win of season 2026. Plenty of good football still to come in season 2026 in NPL Victoria. Thank you for your company. I've been Steve Curtin. He's been Brent Sternberg. And on a night that's Dandenong City have saluted, they leave the victors as the Balkan Bangers ring out at Frank Holohan. It's Dandenong City 3, Avondale 1.